Hi all, here is brand new chapter 2. And so with chapter 2, we're going to start out with linear regression. And so for linear regression, we're going to basically be finding the line of best fit and being able to analyze data. It's also a little bit of a mini stats introduction as well. And so that's what we're going to start with. So the best way to start out with some of these things is pretty soon to use a graphing tool known as Moodle. So here we're going to take a look at our first question. So our first question focuses on some TV shows and focuses on the rank of the TV show and the average weekly audience, which is going to be in millions of people. And so we're going to be able to answer the following questions. We're going to be able to find the equation of the regression line, figure out what the slope of the line means in context, and again, think about if Football and Night in America is ranked 9 on the list, what does that mean for the regression equation? So by using this kind of information, what I did on Moodle is I grabbed all this data that you could easily grab. So you go onto Moodle, go onto our site, go onto Algebra Trig, go to Functions, and then you're going to go to Scatterplot Data. And then with the scatterplot data, we're going to not need the names of the TV shows. We're just going to need the rank and the average weekly audience. So I'm going to highlight that data, Control C, and of course open Desmos and do Control V. Notice it's really slick, very nice, copies it right in there so you don't even have to type it all in. Notice that the dots are going down, so that is going to lead towards a downward trend. Which is also nice, by the way, you can hit the gear key and you can actually type in your axes. So my x-axis was my rank, and then my y-axis was my average weekly viewers in millions. So it's kind of nice. So then you can actually put your, so you know what it means, what is that related to that. And so next, to find our line of best fit, this you might want to write down. So you're going to take, we're going to have y1, because that's what's in my table up here, so y1. And we don't know the exact equation of the line, so we're going to use a tilde, or a tilde. And then we have a slope, m. And then we need x1, because x1 is in my chart up here. That's the rank, plus b. So it's our funky version of y equals mx plus b. I don't want you to worry about the stats or the residuals. So what I want you to focus on is the parameters. This is giving you the slope and the y-intercept of this equation. And so that's what we're looking at for this part. Okay? So then this is what we would write down for the first part of our notes. So we would take a look at it and say, okay, we can write what the slope is. So therefore, for the equation, I can say my slope is y equals, and then again, sometimes it doesn't always like to write. So let me erase, because it can be a pain sometimes. So it's just going to set up as y equals negative. Oh, now it's going to do it again. So we would just write it as y equals, and then we'd say the number. So y equals negative 0.191622x plus 5.84959. And so that's what you would write for the first one, because that is going to be the regression equation. So we have that. Next, what we're going to take a look at, so we'll write that down momentarily. The next thing is thinking about what does the slope of the line mean in context? What that means is, how does the average weekly audience change along with the rank? So that's kind of what we're looking at. And then finally, for part C, we're going to take a look at and see what does that mean if we're looking at a different TV show, what we would do. So first, again, we would write the equations. So I'm sorry about my two glyphs. I tell you, sometimes it's not my board, it's my little tablet that I have that I can need to use sometimes. So we had negative, okay, so we have 19622 or something similar to that. 16, okay, 1622, and then we have 5 plus 5.84959. And there should be a 1 here. And so what does the slope mean? Well, the slope basically means from here, when we look at this particular number, this is representing as the rank lowers, then your viewership will lower. So what that basically means is for every rank of one rank that you go down, your viewership is going down by 0.1916 of millions of people. And so being able to understand what does the slope mean in context. Now, taking a look at Football Night in America, if they're ranked ninth, could we figure out approximately how many people are going to watch that for its weekly audience? And so, yes, what we would do is we would take the regression equation from number 1 up here, and what we would do is substitute 9 in the value of the x, because x, again, is the rank. And then you would just compute that. So I'm going to have negative 0.191622 times 9, and then add to it 5.84959. And so we could predict that 4.1245, if you want to round, and that would be millions of people will watch Thursday Football Night in America, or probably Football Night in America is actually on a Sunday. So that's what we would have. Okay. Also, if we take a look at the 5.84959, what does that mean? Well, that's probably going to represent the amount of viewers that we have in the United States. So those are probably households that are registered that have at least one TV. All right, let's take a look at the second example, and then we're going to let you go and figure out homework, which is dealing with the Roxy Cinema. So we have a new employee at Bowling Plus, Gary. He's taught to drill finger holes in the bowling balls, and the number of balls that he can drill is improving every day. So we can see from the table the number of days and the number of balls that bowling balls that he's drilled per hour. And so we definitely can see kind of a pattern here. So we're looking for A, write the equation of the regression line, and then figuring out what does the slope tell us about the relationship between the number of days that Gary worked and then how many the number of bowling balls that he finished per hour. So again, we're going to utilize our tool Desmos. I'm going to get rid of the stuff that I have because I don't need it anymore. Go back to my scatter plot data, and then we're going to arrow over so I get the information that I need. And again, I don't need the top labels. Control C. By the way, if you noticed for the cars in the cinema, that's for your homework, so you have it already in the chart for you. So just to share. Go to Desmos, Control V. Okay, notice this has a very nice positive correlation. It's not going down like before. And so I'm going to get rid of my axes here from before. The x-axis is not going to represent, it's going to basically be days worked. And then your y-axis is going to be dealing with the number of holes drilled per hour. And so for this one, it's kind of a positive correlation. Again, we want to get that regression equation, so we're going to need y1, and then the tilde, and then mx1, and then plus b. And so again, it gives me the parameters, gives me the equation, so I have that. And so now that I have the equation, we can write the regression equation, think about what does it mean. So we're going to have y equals 0.813333x plus, and then I go back to what we had before, and so 2.355, okay. So 2.3556 or something to that approximately. And so therefore that's my regression line. And so now what we're trying to do is figure out what is the slope telling me. So what is 0.8133, what is that trying to tell me? Well, basically that's trying to tell me that for every day of experience he gains, he's going to drill an extra 0.81 balls per hour. And so that's what that's talking about. If he had 0 days of experience, well, then he's probably only going to get that 2.3556. He's only going to get that ball done with 0 days of experience per hour. So anyway, so we can kind of see that he is definitely, as he's gaining in experience, that's going to be quicker and faster. And so that's what the data part is showing me. And so that kind of ends our lovely little linear regression podcast. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk to me. And as always, have a great day.